A disclaimer before I start the video is I bought the IEM with my own money, so there's nothing that will influence my opinion, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so today we're going to be unboxing the Dunu Koto ITO, and as far as I know, this was in collaboration with a Japanese YouTuber, and on the top then there's going to be the IEMs, and personally I really like the aesthetic of them. It has a dark blue hue, and in the box there's going to be all the accessories. It's going to have 3 pairs of ear tips, regular silicone as far as I can tell, the candy ear tips, and it's going to have the SNS. The only issue here is it came in kind of like in a foggy plastic, and I swapped it. When I opened it, I couldn't put it back because it was already open, right? And I went ahead and put it in my own Ziploc bag, so that's going to be a little different here. Then I'm going to organize the tips from biggest to smallest. Okay, so for the ear tips, I didn't use any of the ear tips personally, because they fit me weird on the left ear, so I had to use my own. What ended up being my favorite tips with this IEM are the Acoustine AETOA, and those are pretty decent to me. I did tip roll a lot because I did have some issues with the sound signature. That's fine. And when I measured these IEMs, I measured it with the silicone tips, 3.5 and a 4.4. Then it also comes with a cleaning tool, and that's pretty much it. As far as the carrying case goes, it's the same one as the one that came with the Dunu DaVinci. Pretty much all the accessories are the same as the Dunu DaVinci. The carrying case is okay. It's not very pocketable, but it's small enough to put like in the sling bag. And I will say that I don't use it personally. I carry my IEMs in a DD Hi-Fi case because I usually carry 5 IEMs to work, and my DAP, and some cleaning tools and some other stuff. Then, yeah, the cable's alright. I found the cable a little stiff. It has a little bit of memory, not too much memory. It's on the heavier end. Personally, if I were to main this IEM, I wouldn't be able to use it. The cable, I would swap it because I would prefer something that's less heavy, less stiff, and less memory. But that's a personal thing. Aesthetically, I did like the cable. I thought it was a very nice cable aesthetically. The copperish. I don't even know exactly what kind of color it is, but I do like the color. Maybe a beige. It comes with a Velcro to be able to tie the IEMs. Personally, I like it, but that's essentially preference. The build quality of the IEMs, they're pretty decent. It's the same thing as a Dunu DaVinci if you've seen those. The shell is pretty massive, to be honest. It's the exact same shell as the ones used with the Dunu DaVinci. I asked Hi-Fi Go and they confirmed. And the nozzle is the difference. It seems like the nozzles of the Koto is a little bit thicker, but that's all right. As far as the IEM goes, it's very prone to fingerprints, but that's fine. So this is considered a base head IEM. It's on the advertisement, and there is a lot of bait, and I consider it a base head level IEM. And in terms of quality, there's a lot of it, but quality, in terms of the sub bass quality, I feel like it's lacking. It just feels there's a lot of it, but there's no texture. The dynamics are average and the tactility is average, but there's rumble, but I don't feel it. But the mid bass is a different story. The mid bass, I found it to be excellent. It's deep, punchy with good attack. If you prefer the mid bass over sub bass, then this IEM is a good choice. The reason I found that the sub bass isn't good but not bad, it's a rare commodity for IEMs to have both great sub bass and mid bass. Usually they have one better than the other, but there are IEMs that have it where the sub bass complements the mid bass. I found that the bass never masked the treble, but occasionally it masked the female vocals. Yeah, but more so it was track dependent. Generally the bass played nicely with the other frequency though. So as far as it goes with the mids, I found the male vocals sounded good. They were bodied, natural, and they maintained clarity. Female vocals were a little bit relaxed. It reminded me a lot of the Top Pro. It takes a lot of excitement from female vocalists like Aurora, Billie Eilish, Cheryl Lee Ralph. Timbre wise, it was very track dependent. Sometimes it was solid, like it was fine, or other times it sounded very unnatural and pretty much dull. I would say it sounded very hollow in some tracks, and that was a very big issue to me because I like natural, full sounding timbre. On some tracks, it just wasn't that. So, as a disclaimer with treble, I honestly have some resilient ears. Like I haven't had any problems with treble being too harsh or fatiguing in any IEM I've tried. For example, I've tried the IE600 and the S12 Pro, no issue in treble. I probably would have to find something with more treble to even be able to test that. All right. So in terms of treble with the Kotos, I've found that they were smooth and they sounded rather neutral. A big issue with this is I find objectively that the IEMs do have a lot of treble, but you know, with HRTF, people are just going to have different ears when it comes to treble. That's why I mentioned that I'm very resilient to treble, because I don't want someone to try the IEM and be like, this is a neutral to me or something. And so, but I found the IEM to not be fatiguing at all. So I was able to listen to the IEM all day, no problem. And then I would say the IEM had above resolution, which is more so surprising because usually when I find resolution in IEMs, they have a bit more treble than this. But I would say that if you're treble sensitive, I would definitely give the IEMs a try before you purchase, because in the 6 to 8K frequency, I did find some sibilance, but it wasn't that bad. In terms of technicalities, it was above average in some categories compared to others. Like for imaging, it did well. I was able to tell like the 4 directions pretty easily, the front, back, left, right. As far as head stage, sound stage goes, I didn't hear any, but I've only heard sound stage / head stage with pretty much only one IEM, and that being the S2 Titan. For as far as detail goes, it was above average, considering the treble isn't boosted like other other detailed IEMs, which are usually really bright. As far as the detail retrieval, I found it pretty good. And now for separation, I found it to be average. Like it wasn't nothing spectacular, but nothing was mashed together. I would say the resolution was lacking because I have a hard time being able to imagine the IEM as being high res when I have issues with the timbre. And since the timbre wasn't consistent, I found the IEM to be not super high res. Overall, when I read the advertisement of the IEM being a specialist IEM, I completely agreed. The genres I found to be best for was rock, EDM, and rap. In other genres, specifically that are more focused on vocals, I didn't really find them to be up to par. I would much rather have a different IEM in this scenarios. And IEMs are, with this IEM, I mean, with the genres like rock, EDM, and whatnot, it's really hard to pick out issues unless you're critically listening. So if you're passive listening, a lot of the issues I had with IEMs would pretty much not really go away, but they're less noticeable because I'm not paying attention. So in comparison to Koto ITO and Martilo, Koto is a lot more relaxed and Martilo has a lot more energy. Overall, for vocals, I prefer the Martilos because they're a lot more natural and more engaging to me. I also find Martilo's timbre and resolution to be a lot better. And Martilo's timbre is a lot more natural to me. I have no issues with timbre in the Martilo, and it might have to do with some of the treble of the Martilo being a little bit more elevated, where it's able to be higher res to me. Now, cables. Oh, also, I found I find Martilo's treble to be more sparkly and engaging, whereas Koto is a lot more smooth, but it still retains detail. But for me personally, I prefer the Martilo over the Koto. But overall, I would say if you would want a smoother presentation of the treble, if your ears are able to have it smooth, the treble, I mean, for the Koto, then the Koto's going to be better if you want smoother treble. If you want sparklier treble, then I would say the Martilo would be better. And another point would be if you want more mid bass, then I would say the Koto's better. But that's not to say the Martilo has bad mid bass or anything. I like the mid bass on the Martilo. It's just I find that the Martilo has more sub bass emphasis, whereas the Koto ITO has more mid bass emphasis. So that's going to be definitely a presentation. And if you want more relaxed female vocals, I would say the Koto would be more for you. But if you want more energetic female vocals, I would say the Martilo would be more for you. Thanks for watching. This is my first attempt at a quote-unquote good video. I've been practicing a bit of editing, photography, and whatnot. If you liked the video, please drop a like and a sub. I appreciate it, and hopefully I improve on my future videos. If you have any criticisms, drop a comment and let me know, and I'm pretty open to it. Thank you.